Ladies and gentlemen, in politics, there are only two constants. The first constant in politics is interest. As long as the interest of politicians can converge, they can always work together. Fred Matiangi is likely to work with William Samoei Arap Ruto moving forward. I'm saying this because if you followed the politics of this country very closely, Matiangi was one of the biggest enemies of William Ruto and his brigades, because Uhuru Kenyatta in 2019, through Executive Order Number 1, made Fred Matiangi the supervisor of all cabinet ministers. That move by Uhuru Kenyatta effectively made Matiangi the prime minister in quotes and rendered William Ruto irrelevant as a deputy president. He became the enemy of Tanga Tanga at that particular time. If you go to Google today and type Matiangi versus Oscar Sudi, you will see all kinds of insults which were directed at Matiangi, because Oscar Sudi is normally the mouthpiece of William Ruto. Which takes us to the second constant in politics, which is betrayal. Fred Matiangi was a very powerful individual in Uhuru Kenyatta's government. It was believed that Uhuru was ruling the country through Matiangi. The fact that their interests are no longer converging, Matiangi is going to betray William Samoei Arap Ruto. And today, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka attacked Fred Okengo Matiangi for betraying Raila Odinga after meeting allies of William Ruto yesterday. The truth of the matter is that as long as the interest of Matiangi and those of Raila are not converging, Matiangi will go his separate ways and Raila will have to go his separate ways. When Raila Odinga was supporting Fred Matiangi, their interests were converging. And I'm going to explain in this video. So in this video, I want us to look at why Kalonzo is angry and bitter with Matiangi for betraying Raila Odinga. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, I want you guys to take a second or two and click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to make this passionate appeal to you guys. Request. Please, for this video, just give it thumbs up and also drop your comments. That's one way you can support this channel. Now, let us get back to the main issue. What is William Ruto's game plan with Fred Matiangi? That is the biggest question. Because clearly, the drama we witnessed, the intimidation of Matiangi by the DCI EACC was intended to achieve some objectives. But let us look at how things are unfolding very fast. On Thursday, William Ruto met with 3 ODM MPs from Kisii. The discussion actually centered around Fred Matiangi. Yesterday, Fred Matiangi, for the first time, appeared in a meeting with Muchogu. As a matter of fact, in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. And I explained the details about that meeting in one of my previous videos. You can just check it down there. Today, something very interesting also happened. By the time of doing this video, a photo of Matiangi and Mama Rachel Ruto emerged. There is no way, I'm telling you, there is no way Matiangi would have shared a platform with Mama Rachel Ruto unless it was intended to pass a message. There is no way Matiangi would have shared a platform with Mama Rachel without Ruto knowing. And there is no way Fred Matiangi would have shared a platform with Mama Rachel and it's them working together, the rest following. So Kalonzo is a bit pissed off because he feels that Matiangi has betrayed Raila. Because you all remember when the distress call from Matiangi came that his house was under attack, the first person who arrived there at night was Raila Odinga to show solidarity. When Matiangi was asked to go and record his statement at the DCI, the person who was with him was Raila Odinga and Azimio brigades. But because politics is a different ballgame, William Ruto invoked his strategies. And indeed, yesterday, I explained to you guys that William Ruto was literally begging Matiangi for talks. And based on the events which took place yesterday and the ones today where Matiangi appeared together with Mamorejo, it's a foregone conclusion that Matiangi has actually betrayed Raila and betrayed Uhuru. But why is Kalonzo worried? Why is Kalonzo really worried? That is the biggest question which we should be answering. I don't know whether I can get the video. Let me just play for you this video here of Kalonzo, just very briefly.
Kwa amani. A nation under the rule of law. Tuwaeleze hawa. Hawaelewi sheria kusema kweli.
Just listen.
Hawaelewi. Sasa huyu ndugu Eugene Wamalwa alienda akasindikiza Matiangi ati kwa kupeleka wapelelezi DCI. Akampeleka huko, kasema na sisi tuliambia wakisi wako tayari. We're very ready. I don't even understand why Matiangi should have gone to talk to these people. Because hakuna under the law, hakuna hatia angepatikana naye. Hakuna DCI, na sio kwamba huyu kijana Haji aliambiwa tu andika useme hakuna enough evidence. There was no evidence in the first place. Kwa hivyo Matiangi ungekaa na ndugu Raila vile alikuja akasimama na wewe. Watu wakiona Raila wanaogopa. Wanaogopa. Ndio hiyo.
Now, we've helped millions of creators improve Now, from that speech by Kalonzo, it is clear that Azimio is actually disappointed by Matiangi's move. And why would the move by Matiangi disappoint them? Because for me, Matiangi really never helped Raila Odinga when he had the opportunity. Personally, I've always told a few guys that as much as I don't like whatever was happening to Matiangi, I would have wanted a situation where angewekwa ndani kidogo. Because you don't play with the power. I don't even expect, for example, Professor Kithure Kindiki to play with the power which he has today. That he will just easily let power leave Ruto and then expect favors if another regime will take over. It's not done like that. Matiangi ought to have secured, unless it was what Babu calls long con. But why is Azimio worried? Number one, they're worried because of the politics around DCI. The fear is Ruto can actually use the DCI to force Azimio leaders to join Kenya Kwanza. Because the truth of the matter is that if Fred Matiangi can actually be forced, what about other people? Because the assumption most Kenyans have with Matiangi is that he's tough, he's thorough, he's not moved. You know, it's like you going to a war and your leader is already down there. Can you proceed with that war? That is the fear. That's actually the biggest fear in Azimio. That William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza are likely to use the state machinery, the state power, the DCI, the EACC, the DPP, and everything. Because if, for example, DPP had not written that statement saying they've terminated the cases, Do you think Matiangi would have appeared with the Rachel Ruto? I don't think so, because probably that was the demand. You guys go ask DPP to withdraw the case and instruct the police to desist. So that's the biggest fear in Azimio, that Ruto can actually use these tools, which they failed to use, to actually manage politics. Number two, their biggest fear is also the Kisii political equation. Azimio won in Kisii, but Ruto is not taking chances with Kisii. It is alleged that already he has the governor. As much as the governor is still weighing the ground, but is now leaning towards him. Majority of members of parliament from Kisii are with him. The opposition was banking on using Matiangi to rally the Kisii as now the Kisii leader. Because if you go to Nyamira, the governor won on his party. So it was going to be easy for Matiangi to actually be made the figurehead of Kisii in Azimio. Because the other guys, Ongwae, Ongera, and the rest already moved. So that is their biggest worry. The third worry is that politics of betrayal is likely to now kick in Azimio. Because if Matiangi can betray Uhuru, if Matiangi can betray Raila, a man who woke up at night to go and stand with him, within just 3 days. Because Matiangi came to Kenya how many days ago? Just the day. So the Azimio team are worried that the way they are seeing things, betrayal is likely to be an order of the day. And of course, the Azimio team are also reading William Ruto's strategy to split Azimio. How do you split Azimio? You target key leaders. They've attempted to target Kalonzo. Kalonzo has remained firm. Why? Because Kalonzo's interests are still converging with Raila Odinga's interest. Kalonzo believes that Raila Odinga can support him and he can actually benefit from Raila Odinga in 2027. So he's still hanging. The moment Raila Odinga will show interest in 2027, that will mark the end of Kalonzo, if you ask me. So their biggest fear is that Ruto has tried, the other guys have failed, now he's going for these other guys. Remember, he has been very strategic. He began with Jubilee, picked Kanini Kega, Sabina Chege. Those were key pillars of Uhuru Kenyatta. Then now Kisii, he has gone for Matiangi. By the way, in the northern, that's where he began, he also went with that for that party, pull it from Azimio. In Meru, you saw him taking Kiraitu Murungi. What I don't know is Peter Munya's political game plan. He will come. Even today, William Ruto met with the leaders from Luo Nyanza, which is going to be one of our analyses. And lastly, the fact of the matter is that as a former cabinet secretary for Interior, Fred Okengo Matiangi knew a lot. He had a lot of information. And this information is what Ruto didn't want to come out. And by blocking this information, it means Azimio will not benefit from those information. Because there are certain wars you can only fight using information. Because information is power. So by having Matiangi on his side, William Ruto is now safe. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. William Ruto has scored big, but let us wait and see whether the ground will shift with Fred Okengo Matiangi. But politics is normally a perceptual game, and William Ruto is creating that perception. Thank you guys. Until tomorrow, when we'll be looking at William Ruto's meeting with Luo leaders, including Kidero, Obado, Owalo, and others. Thank you guys. Until next time, Makwiny.